Are you looking for a new yoga mat and you don't know which one to choose? Well, in this video, I'm going to help you decide. Hello, my name is Alexia and I'm a yoga teacher and a yoga studio owner, and I own several yoga mats. So which yoga mat to choose is a question I get asked quite a lot from my students. So this is why I made this video, and all of these yoga mats are linked in the description box below if you want to have a better look at them. In this video, I'm going to talk about which yoga mat to choose based on certain things that you might be looking for. The second one is I'll try to give personal recommendations based on the key things that people tend to look for. And the third one is I'll explain what combination of yoga mats I actually use. All right, so let's see the three key things that people tend to look for in their yoga mats. Now, the first one is depends on your budget, so how much money you can actually spend. So these are the 5 yoga mats that I own. So I've got the Liforme, the White Gold edition. I've got the Manduka Pro, the Lululemon, this is the reversible mat. Then we've got the Jade Harmony, and then the Manduka travel mat. So each of these are actually excellent yoga mats. So I have aligned them here based on their price. So the most expensive yoga mat is the Liforme, the White Gold, and then it's the Manduka, the Lululemon, the Jade, and the travel mat. So depending on your budget, choose the mat for you. Okay, so the next thing to consider is if you're going to be traveling with your yoga mat. Now, traveling doesn't necessarily mean going abroad or on a plane with your yoga mat. It can even mean taking your yoga mat to your local yoga studio on a daily basis. And so now I've arranged the yoga mats based on their weight. So for example, the Manduka is the heaviest yoga mat, the Manduka Pro, and the Manduka travel mat is the lightest yoga mat. And so if you want a mat that's easy to travel with, then Manduka Travel, Jade, Lululemon, and the Liforme, they are light enough to travel with. The Manduka Pro is quite a heavy mat, so I think you might find it a bit difficult to travel with this one. And the third thing to consider is which type of yoga you practice. So this is important because if you practice a dynamic form of yoga, you want a mat with good grip. So for example, if you're doing Ashtanga or Vinyasa flow, you want a mat where you're not going to be sliding in any pose. All 5 mats have excellent grip, so regardless of the mat you choose, you won't have a problem with that. The thing, however, to consider is if you have sensitive joints, or if you practice a grounding practice, like for example yin yoga or restorative yoga, ideally you would want a mat with good cushioning, so a good thickness. Now I've aligned the mats based on the thickness. So the thickest yoga mat with the best cushioning is the Manduka Pro. And the other end of the spectrum, we've got the Manduka travel mat. So this is the thinnest yoga mat. So if you practice on a hardwood floor, this might be a bit too thin and a bit too much for your joints. Okay, so we've got the Manduka Pro, which is 6 millimeters thick, and this is the thickest yoga mat of all. And then we've got the Lululemon and the Jade Harmony. These are both 5 millimeters thick. Then we've got the Liforme yoga mat, which is 4.2 millimeters thick. And then the thinnest of all is the travel mat, which is 1.5 millimeters thick. All right, now I'm going to give my personal advice based on certain criteria that people seem to be looking for. So if you want a yoga mat that you will have for life, ideally you will have it in one place. So you'll either have it at home, or if you can store it in your local studio, then that is definitely the Manduka Pro. I've had mine for 10 years. I teach on it, I practice on it, and it's a perfect yoga mat. Now, if you want an all-round, really good yoga mat that has good cushioning and very good grip, and it's quite an affordable price, then that's the Lululemon yoga mat. If you want a mat with good cushioning and which has open cell technology, meaning that if you sweat a lot, it'll absorb the sweat and you won't be sliding anywhere, and plus the most eco-friendly yoga mat, then that is the Jade Harmony. Plus, another thing is that I have yoga students who have the Jade Harmony and they sweat a lot and they swear by this yoga mat. So if you sweat a lot, then the Jade Harmony is a good yoga mat to buy. If you want the best looking yoga mat with a very intelligent alignment system, which also has excellent grip, then that is the Liforme yoga mat. And if you want a yoga mat that you can travel with, that maybe you can put on other yoga mats, then that is the Manduka travel mat. Okay, so now let's have a look at the combination of yoga mats that I use. I have my Manduka Pro mat that I practice on this and I teach on this, and this basically lives in my yoga studio. Now, when I'm traveling somewhere and I know I can only travel with hand luggage, then I take my Manduka travel mat because it's very easy to fold and just place in your backpack. And now for international flights, when I know I can have luggage and not just a backpack, then the Liforme is my choice for a yoga mat. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it helped you make up your mind about which yoga mat to buy. If you found this video helpful, consider liking this video and consider subscribing to my channel to see more recommendations on yoga practice videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.